Usually, I play Minecraft alone, but in today's video, I'm going to be playing Minecraft with my 3 Minecraft friends. Pin72, GreyGhost8, and TheHydranVoid are 3 very skilled Minecraft gamers with advanced knowledge of the technological aspects of the game. But will they help me win in any of these 5 Hoplite Battle Royales that I play today? Watch to find out. Alright, let's hop into the first game. For game number 1, it was me, Pin72, and GreyGhost8 playing the Civilization Royale mode. We would all sub in at different times depending on when we wanted to play, so for this game it was just Pin72 and GreyGhost8. It started out as a basic Hoplite Battle Royale, with us getting full iron armor and then going to meet up. However, right as PvP started, Pin72 was ambushed by an enemy player and was eliminated, so that meant it was just me and GreyGhost8 left standing, and we did not have a player head, so we could not make a revival star. After Pin died, we then stayed down in the caves to help get Ghost geared up in full iron armor, and while we were doing this, our teammate came over to us and logged out because he had to go, so we pushed his corpse in a hole and suffocated it with gravel, now gearing up us with both full iron armor and a player head. After suffocating his corpse, I then realized that I almost had all the materials to craft the Warpick legendary weapon. However, I was missing just the gunpowder, so I asked our team if they had any gunpowder. However, I was just 1 away from getting the Warpick, so I decided to go up to surface to enchant my armor and weapons. But when I heard my team was getting ambushed, me and Ghost hid in a cave and waited till deathmatch, not knowing what gear the enemies had. After our other teammate was taken down by another player, we then tried to hide in a cave. However, another enemy player descended from the cave, ambushing both me and Ghost, and with me being an Elder 5 quick drop, I dropped with 5 golden apples. That is just so embarrassing. Luckily, Ghost was able to survive till deathmatch. However, he had no gaps and was on 3 HP, so I guess you can kind of see how this ended for him, and he died. Alright, let's move on to game 2. For game number 2, it was just going to be me and Pin72. The other 2 were doing other things at the time, so it was just going to be us 2. I devised a genius strategy for this game, however. Pin72 would go the Fisherman Kit and stay up at the surface to fish up OP books and bows, while I would go down in the caves and mine full iron for both of us. Once we were done mining and fishing, I went back up to the surface to meet up with Pin, where I gave him his full armor and his horse armor. Afterwards, we both tamed horses and did some enchanting right before PvP. After we were done gearing up, we then made our way over to the center of the map where we spotted the Spruce and Jungle teams fighting. We knew we could catch up to them with our horses, and we spotted a weak player attempting to escape the fight. So we immediately went up to him, and Pin72 was able to eliminate him with ease, gaining us even more loot. After we eliminated this player, I then realized that I had 11 diamonds, so I used them to make a diamond chestplate, making me half diamond armor, only missing the leggings. And after doing some enchanting, we made our way over towards the secure biome where we spotted the Cherry and Desert teams. However, the Desert team was wielding a fire aspect sword and riptide tridents, so it was going to be very hard to escape from them.
They have fire aspect. Bro, literally went perfect timing zombie, perfect timing zombie. If they have riptide, it's no use in the water. It's no use in the water, it's no use on land. I'm gonna die. Like a little bit, bro, literally run. There's nothing you can do.
After narrowly escaping this team, we then regrouped and headed over towards the supply drop, where I was able to get a few more caps. But after this, the deathmatch timer moved to 5 minutes, meaning we now had to prepare for deathmatch. However, I then spotted an enemy player.
How many skeletons is that? Oh my god, the people. Oh my god, It's thunder.
So I chased him down, and we then fell into a cave, and without any water, he fell into lava and died. After taking down this player and collecting his loot, deathmatch then begun. But before we rushed to middle and attacked the other teams, we wanted to do one final gear upgrade to ensure that we were as stacked as possible. However, we had very limited healing, and also half our team was still wearing full iron armor. So going into battle, we had way less gear than our enemies.
Oh my god, this guy's so stacked. This guy's so stacked. So really
After escaping these very stacked players, I tried dropping a few full irons from enemy teams. However, they had very good ways of escaping and I couldn't seem to drop any one of them. Meanwhile, back over on the other side of the cornucopia, Pin 72 was dropped by Dark Shulker, meaning it was now a 3v3v3. However, Orion's Fall died, as well as Polarius, meaning I was the only one left standing, and even though I had a protection 4 diamond chestplate and half diamond armor, I still stood no chance against these players who were good Minecraft PvPers. So I was unfortunately dropped, ending game 2. Alright, let's move on to the third game, game 3. For game number 3, I was playing Hoplite Battle Royale with Pin 72 and TheHydranVoid. After jumping off the dragon, I immediately went to loot a structure, but after not getting much loot, I then went down into a cave. However, the cave that I went down into contained Hoplite's version of the trial chambers, which meant that we could get the mace, the strongest weapon in Minecraft. However, after not getting it, I then just mined full iron in the cave and went back up to the surface to go meet up with my teammates. I was elected king this game, which gained me 7 extra hearts because I went the farmer class. After I got back up to the surface, I then went to go meet up with my teammates to give them the rest of their iron for their armor and weapons. Afterwards, they then told me that they had looted a supply drop which gave them a wither skeleton skull, which meant we could go for the Reaper Scythe legendary weapon. And after we pulled our loot, I then was able to make our first legendary weapon of the series, the Reaper Scythe. The Reaper Scythe legendary weapon allows you to drain 25% of an enemy's health when hit. However much damage you deal with this weapon is however much health you will get in return. Also, when you hit a player, it will instantly copy all potion effects onto you. This weapon has a 45-second cooldown. Just as things were starting to look up for our team, Pin 72's internet then dropped at the worst possible time, leaving just me and Hydran left standing. As if things couldn't get any worse, we then spotted 2 enemy teams fighting over on the lake, one of which was led by Jester, a notorious hoplite villain in Speedsilver's Battle Royale events. Needing a player head for the revival star, we then decided to take the fight.
Jester's on 18, wait, Jester's on 18, slow down.
After HydranVoid was unfortunately dropped, I had to escape in order to keep the win alive for our team. And one by one, my other teammates fell, leaving me as the last player standing on our team. But with the Reaper Scythe and 6 gaps, I knew I could do something. However, just as I was done escaping, I spotted Archer on the side of the hill, one of the strongest teams on the Force team. And he jumped me with a light netherite sword and diamond boots, and knowing that he could take me down, he chased me into a cave. Where all my healing was drained, and I was unfortunately eliminated. Alright, let's move on to game 4. For game number 4, it was going to be a little different. Me, Pin 72, and TheHydranVoid were going to be joining a custom flower power game hosted by the YouTuber Nap. We spawned around the first layer of the cornucopia, and as soon as the pods opened, we immediately rushed the middle. However, after not getting much loot, we then went to a nearby flower forest to begin breaking flowers. After PvP had been disabled and the mining phase started, we all have received our kits and a Gerald the Sniffer. However, because Pin and Hydran's inventories were full at the time, their Gerald the Sniffers dropped on the ground and despawned, meaning only I had a legendary weapon, and the others would have to wait until they got kills. However, with my insane luck, I managed to pull one of the best legendary weapons on Hoplite, the Crimson Chainsword. The Crimson Chainsword legendary weapon allows you to bleed enemies. When right-clicked, you will apply a bleeding curse to your sword, and when you hit an enemy with it, it will damage them for 3 hearts. Once you kill a player with this legendary weapon, you will gain Strength 2 for 15 seconds. Also, you will deal 1.5 times damage to enemies under 20% health, meaning this legendary weapon was probably the best one we could have gotten. After I obtained this legendary weapon, me and my teammates then decided to start breaking flowers. I was able to get full diamond armor and 10 golden apples right before PvP. My teammates also had half diamond armor, so we decided to go into the nether because Pin 72 needed some magma cream for his blazing crossbow. Once we got out of the nether, we then spotted a person in a hole right next to the nether portal. So I immediately jumped down in with him, and because of my incredibly strong gear and weapons, I was easily able to take this player down, gaining a new legendary weapon and a bunch of gear. and the legendary weapon that I got was the Excalibur. The Excalibur legendary weapon allows you to grant yourself invincibility. Right-click to summon invincibility effect on you that will last for 10 seconds or for the next 3 enemy hits. This weapon has a 45-second cooldown. After we eliminated this player, we then went to go meet up with our other teammate. However, he then dropped all of his loot on the ground and logged out. So we then burned his corpse in order to get another player. However, Hydran may have stood a bit too close to the time bomb chest and was unfortunately blown up, leaving just me and Pin72 left standing. However, we were going to try and revive him using the revival star, so we then went to go looking for other players.
Kill this Team 11 guy. Yes, I know. Just run. It's two. Run. This guy's not gonna come. This guy's Guy with hammers. Oh, he has a flipping. What? He has. Oh, it's run. This is a. Oh my god, this is a really sick team. Just run. Regroup. Oh my god, their entire team. Run to 0-0. Run to 0-0. Cut back.
No matter what we did, we could not take these players down, so we had to keep running from them in order to evade. After we escaped these players, we then took a breather to enchant some more. However, there were 2 other players fighting nearby us, and one of them died, so we then pushed the other player away and had the time bomb chest to ourselves. However, we knew we had to get this other player's player head, so we chased him down. However, after he pearled away, we then caught up to him.
He's good. He has good swords. I'm gonna G-hit for you. I G-hit it for you. Take the G-hit.
And with a 2v1 and him having no less than diamond leggings and diamond boots, we were easily able to take him down, me obtaining another legendary weapon, the Warpick. The Warpick is a legendary pickaxe that is enchanted with sharpness 10. When you mine a block with this pickaxe, you will explode all blocks within a 3x3x3 radius. This ability has a 3-second cooldown. Also, when you crit a player with the pickaxe, you have a chance to slightly knock them back and reduce their armor durability. This ability has a 20-second cooldown. After we eliminated this player, we then took some time to enchant some more. However, we were then ambushed by an enemy team who were much more geared than us, and Pin72 was unfortunately singled out and eliminated. However, I had the materials to craft a revival star, so I crafted one, and Pin72 was brought back from the dead. After I revived Pin72, we then went into a cave to attempt to regroup and regear. However, the same enemy team then ambushed us, and with Pin72 only being full iron armor, he was quick dropped, meaning I was the only player on our team left standing. After Pin72 was eliminated, these players were adamant that they kill me. However, I just about managed to escape with my Warpick. Whilst I was in the cave, I then spotted a bot. And I knew I could take him down, so I eliminated him, gaining my 4th legendary weapon of the game, the Evoker Wand. The Evoker Wand is a legendary weapon that allows you to summon Evoker Fangs. Left click to summon 3 rows of deadly Evoker Fangs. Right click to summon a projectile deflecting force field around you. This weapon is equivalent in damage to a stone sword. After I eliminated the bot, I then heard a player in my cave, so I immediately tried to dig down. However, these players were way more stacked than me. With me having no way out, I was unfortunately eliminated. Alright, let's move on to Game 5. For Game number 5, I may have forgotten to press record when I first started the game, so that's why it was delayed. I was playing the game with just TheHydranVoid for this game, however, it was going to be completely different than the last. Today, I was the hoster of this custom game, and the scenario that I chose was Flower Power, meaning that all flowers could drop completely random loot. So we immediately started breaking flowers, hoping to get something good. After over 10 whole minutes of mining flowers, we did not have a legendary weapon. However, I had managed to get diamond boots, bandit leggings, a cactus chestplate, a diamond sword, 6 golden apples, and an enchanted golden apple. I wanted to get the axolotl boots, but I was missing the glowberries, so I stayed back in the flower forest to get them. However, me and Hydran may have had contrasting ideals because he wanted to go 5 players, so we may or may not have gotten split up, and he was unfortunately quick dropped and died. Yeah, that wasn't the best play for me as a teammate. After Hydran was quick dropped, I then obtained a diamond chestplate for mining a flower, and after some time, I then finally had enough materials to craft the axolotl boots. After I'd gotten my diamond chestplate and axolotl boots and enchanted them, I then finally decided that I would go to 0-0. So I made my way over, and in a nearby cave to 0-0, there was a bot, so I immediately tried to take him down. After I'd eliminated this bot, I then made my way back up to the surface where a huge battle between enemy teams was happening. However, I was much less geared than these players, but luckily I could use my axolotl boots to escape. However, that wasn't before my total undying pop, and I used my GB, which meant my health was drained significantly. After I narrowly escaped death from these players, I then let my totem regen filter out whilst I enchanted some iron leggings. However, I then spotted 4 enemy players over on the other side of the lake, so I then used my bow to try and deplete their health. However, it did nothing since they had the Midas sword, which gave them an incredible amount of heals. Luckily, with my Depth Strider axolotl boots, I could escape from people in the water, which meant that I didn't have to drain gapples as much. However, eventually I was caught up to by the enemy players, and my gapple count was drained significantly due to their strong weapons. I was even forced to use my notch apple when I got down to half a heart. However, I luckily managed to stay alive for a while until I ran out of healing and was pushed towards the cornucopia. There, I was singled out and eliminated. Alright, let's move on to the final game, Game 6. For the final game, it was just going to be me and Pin72. The spawn pods were a bit broken this game, however I was able to get out in front of all our teammates and make it to the middle chest first. I managed to get 2 experience bottles, which were needed for the Villager Wand legendary weapon. And, to my luck, there was a village right next to our biome, so I immediately went there and grabbed the bell. I then attempted to look for skeletons for the bones for the weapon, however after only getting one, I decided that it was best that I go back to the village and trade for the emeralds. I managed to find a Fletcher villager and trade sticks for emeralds until I had all 18. I then met back up with Pin72 right before PvP, and he then gave me some iron so I could make iron armor. I then decided to randomly check a structure, and to my surprise, there were bones in the structure, which allowed me to craft my final legendary weapon of the series, the Villager Wand. The Villager Wand is a legendary staff that allows you to turn mobs into emeralds. Left click on any mob in order to turn it into emeralds, except for chickens, which it'll just turn into a big buff version of itself. Right click in order to summon a powerful beam explosion that will explode a player, dealing 5 hearts of damage. This ability has a 60-second cooldown. After I crafted this legendary weapon, me and Pin then decided to go meet up with the rest of our team, who we realized were in a fight. And I got to test out the abilities with this legendary weapon, which proved to be an instant success, as I smited 2 players, and one was on very low HP, so I killed him, gaining a bunch of extra loot, which I quickly looted, and then went on to continue with the rest of my teammates. After I eliminated this player, me and Pin then decided to meet up with the rest of our team and attack the enemies at the cornucopia. However, we were much less geared than our teammates having full diamond and us having full iron wielding the Villager Wand. We were an easy target and were immediately singled out. However, we just about managed to back up and escape while our stronger teammates took on our enemies. This actually turned out to be a pretty good decision because we spotted a weaker player on the side of the map, so we decided to rush over to him, and with my incredibly strong Villager Wand, I smited him and took him down in one shot. After this player was eliminated, me and Pin then decided to go meet up with the rest of our teammates, who were in a fight against enemies with the Evoker Wand, so we knew we had to get this legendary weapon. However, whilst we were fighting this player, we then noticed that another player was chasing us, so me and Pin then decided to turn on him in a 2v1.
Just run, do not... Run, back up. Heal, no. Heal, gap. Should have popped.
We were easily able to take this player down in a 2v1. However, another enemy with the Cloud Sword then came to clean us. So, with very low health, we had to back out in order to re-heal. However, when we went back, we found out that this team was trapping.
Oh! By his dripstone! There's a trap! There's a trap right here. There's a trap, there's a trap. Oh, this is the, look, there's trapper. There's right here. Look. Look at this guy. Don't look at this.
And after they went down into their ladders, we knew it was not worth to chase because they probably had a backup trap. So we decided to go meet up with the rest of our team to prepare for deathmatch. Once we got into deathmatch, even though we weren't the most stacked, we realized that having the villager wand was great, because even when we got to low health, we could use the villager wand to knock back our enemies and give us some time to heal. And whilst I was rehealing, I then spotted a player in the cornucopia. After I eliminated this noob, me and Pin then decided to back out of the fighting to regroup and re-gear before we went back in for kills. However, even though we were more stacked than a lot of the enemies on the other teams, Bijou and GamerBlaze, the two players that were trapping, now had full diamond armor from their kills and the Cloud Sword and the Aglos, and they instantly singled us out because we had the Village Wand. And with me having little to no gear, me and Pin were unfortunately dropped by these two players, ending the 6-game series. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe. If you want to see more videos just like this, I have an entire playlist on my channel full of Hoplite compilations and movies, so click on the screen here if you want to watch more of those videos. Also, I will be linking my friends' channels links in the description if you want to watch some of their content. And yes, they do make Minecraft content. Alright, bye.